Billy sent a message in the group earlier, and no one else really knows what it means because I don't think they caught the message. But Billy had something he wanted to add to the agenda. I'm sort of teeing it up for him, and I'm just going to let Billy explain from here on out. So go on, Bill.
Yeah, this is more to the point, like just for maybe a debate or a discussion, if you will. But I've, like watching games recently, there's like just a rule that really is starting to boil my piss. And it's a rule that I understand is in place, but I think it could be handled differently. I'm kind of interested to know what you think on that, what I'm going to mention, and also sort of rules that you're not a fan of, how you change them, or if you just fuck them off completely. But what I'm on about is players going down, holding their head because they know for concussion rules they have to stop the play instantly, just breaking down any potential attack. My idea would be obviously the rule is in place for a very decent reason. Like CTE is a thing that ruins lives and fucks people up. I think if once they've been treated, they shouldn't be allowed to join the field or play for 10 minutes, 5-10 minutes, because it's going to stop players wanting to go down and take the piss out of that time. So
actually, as soon as because I didn't know what rule you were going to say, I was actually speaking about this to someone the other day, and I said, if they're going down holding their head and the game has to be stopped because of such a thing, like let's say they go down, hold their head, and they get back up, whatever, that's fine. They've just obviously taken a slight knock. But if they go down and they are holding their head and trying to slow the game down and get it stopped because the other team's breaking, do what rugby do and send them off for a head injury assessment and have a substitution to that fact, like a concussion sub.
It stops players, especially when they're 1-0 up. They don't want to go down to 10 men for that amount of time, do they? But it stops them just using that to sway things to their advantage.
No, absolutely. And actually, that is something I was speaking to with someone else as well. I think it was Jade's granddad was around and we were watching one of the football matches. I can't remember. I think it might have been the West Ham Villa game, to be honest, because I think one of the Villa players went down when I think one of the Villa players went down as West Ham were attacking.
Zaniolo.
And they stopped the game, and then Villa scored 2 minutes later, just after West Ham had an attack stopped because he was down on his head.
But he's another one that's been accused of betting, so maybe he had something on Villa to score next. I don't know. Quick head injury.
He's signalling to someone in the crowd, quick, get a Villa to score next on.
Yeah, I don't know. I do like that idea. I like the idea, Bill, to be fair. Yeah, that makes a lot of sense.
Because it also does still keep player protection in the main sort of forefront of it, doesn't it? Like, because that's the reason that you stop the game is for player protection.
Yeah, but there's just other ways it can be done.
Yeah, and other ways that it shouldn't benefit the team that it, or at least not. There should be a repercussion for the player if they are feigning injury, for example.
Yeah,
well,
I mean, having to come off the field to play for 10 minutes.
Yeah. I'm not necessarily saying bring in sin bins, but I mean, it somewhat act as an effective sin bin if somebody is.
But a concussion sub can come on, so they're not going to lose a player for that 10 minutes, but the player that has done it will have to come off and not play for 10 minutes.
Yeah, and it's not like if the player is concussed, they're getting punished for faking it, whatever. But if the player's concussed, they're coming off anyway.
Yeah, they should do.
So it just seems like a good way to stop the slowing down of the game.
No, I do like that. Maybe another rule I would change would be VAR checks.
Yeah,
actually, no, ahead of that would be dissent to the referee.
Yes, that's what I was going to mention, Liam, as well.
It pisses me off so much.
Yeah.
Like, obviously, being more of a rugby player, like, if you speak back to the ref, you know you're a possibility of getting sent off. Like, and that should be more prevalent. Everything goes through the captain. Unless there's a break in play and you've done something, you can ask the ref. But running up to the ref and scream, obviously they've sort of tried to bring it in, and people are getting a lot more yellow cards for it. But
getting better.
It's got to be. It's got to be like instant.
You can't ask for a card anymore, which I think is quite good.
No, that is good as well.
If refs had the same level of respect that they do in rugby, it'd be a lot better. I know what you mean. And actually, I'd like to be able to hear. I know everyone says it, but I'd like to be able to hear the conversations with VAR.
Yeah,
rugby as well.
I was about to say that as well, which is why I mentioned VAR. But I think the issue with it is they're still working it out, and obviously everything isn't perfect, as been told by many an error this season. Nothing that's really made any massive difference to any game, obviously. But I think it would be good to hear the conversations, but I think some of them maybe could cause issues in the stands. Because, do you know what I mean? And would you want that sort of animosity towards the referee for making a decision that maybe the crowd don't feel is correct? I don't know.
Yeah, I kind of like what they did in the Women's World Cup as well, where the referee would explain over the mic to the crowd sort of like the decision and the reasoning behind it.
Yeah.
Maybe that's the middle ground then. Like the referees have their private conversation, and then the other referee comes out and says, right, this is what's happening. This is the decision. This is why. Here we go.
Yeah.
Yeah.